was always something to do, always. Right. And the kids were good kids. It was just family.
Right.
You know, the old kickball on the street and everything. George Hoffman.
Yeah.
Hoffman family.
Right.
And they were of nationality of German. And they lived, you know, they were in Germany at the time, and he loved the castles that he saw in Germany. So the story is that he stole some architecture prints from one of them and brought them home with him. There's still questions of why he did it. Some say he was going to show art pictures and that kids did for like art shows and that, up the stairs and that. Other kids say, oh no, he hated kids. You know, he didn't want to do that. So there's many stories that we don't know for sure. We figured he got to know the area, and he liked the area because of the river. And the river was like the background for it. And that's why he had built it there and out here then too at the time, because Chicago was growing. So, and it was actually, he owned the whole big corner. This is how it started. You can see how the construction of that is. Mm-hmm. And that was, you know, we were still going, which is amazing because in those days, you know, they didn't have the big lifts of the big equipment, even though it's a black and white picture or sepia picture, it's still, and then there was a dam there too. So he took out one dam and then he built another dam to do that too. And now since, in just the last 10 years, that dam was taken out, you know, but, so this is part of the park. It was party time. They had a walkway around it, and there was a tunnel. There was a street that went through, and there was a tunnel that went under the street so nobody would get hit. See this? From the back door was a dock, and the dock went along the river, and they had boats.
Right.
And then the boats would take them for rides up the river, down the river, up the river mainly because the dam was there. Yeah. But that was how all part of the entertainment. Trees in the river just make it all very pretty and nice. Yeah. They started what we called the landmark days, and we would have craft shows there, dancing there, different things that everybody could do and go, and they could do that. It's closed down because the state owns it, and the state closed it for safety reasons, but it's only because it's the facade that's falling apart, the facade of the outside. And we feel that was happening one year when they had beautiful decorations. There's a picture of it, but when you put decorations up, it's a huge, huge wreath. Well, in order to have that wreath there, you have a background of metal to hold it. Well, that window up there is something else. And I think when they didn't tie it down right or do it correctly, that it was blowing and hitting on the outside. So that was kind of cracking the facade. And the inside I don't think is that bad. There might be a few places. When they took out the dam, there was a pipe that went down from the top of it down into the river to anytime it rained or snowed from the roof, and that did that. But I think it was 100,000 or something a while back. But that goes back a ways, so I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but you know, the state wanted us to buy it for $1 a couple of times, but they said they would finish. They would upkeep that they would do that, and then we could have it. But they never did, so we never bought it. At one time too, we were going to schools and showing them different things, but now they say, oh, they don't have room for history. They don't have time for history. Much less local history. They don't even do history the correct way of doing it in the schools anymore, which is sad. It was good. You still had the bakeries, you had the drugstores, all the small shops that you knew them and they knew you. You know, I think your generation is missing out on that.